What's going on, trainers? If you were diving into the Kardmi for the first time, wanting to get into that elusive Season 2 content, only to find that you were stuck behind the progression wall of Season 1, you are not alone. Your journey from the very first partner to clearing the Elite Four may feel like an endless grind. But don't worry, guys, I'm here with you. We're going to do a guide, a quick breakdown of how to speed your way through Season 1 so that you can jump into Season 2 and experience all the awesome content that it has to offer. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, guys, I just want to get this out of the way quickly. Um, I've been where you are. Season 1 has a tremendous story. I absolutely love the narrative direction that they go, and it's a lot of fun. Normally, I wouldn't recommend rushing Season 1. However, with the launch of Season 2 and the system that they put in place where you have to progress through Season 1 to reach Season 2, and who knows how that will look in the future when it comes to Season 3, 4, 5. Fingers crossed this won't always be mandatory, but let's go ahead and talk about some ways to maximize your time in Kardmi because I want to be clear. If you are going and casually playing and not trying to speed run Season 1, but you are trying to hit that Season 2 content, expect a long grind. Expect several months grinding to be able to get to Season 2. So let's kind of cut that time in half. Number one, I think the thing that you need to pay attention to is the Battle Cafe, and it's going to be introduced to you very early on. It's going to be one of the first places, if not the first place, that you visit inside the city once you get to Sweetwater Town. Definitely make this place your home because you will spend a lot of time at the Battle Cafe. How the Battle Cafe works is there are multiple different tiers and different foods that you can get for your card meal. And the only one we're going to really focus on in this guide is going to be the food to level up your card meal. What you're going to want to do as the milestones are unlocked in your servers and different foods are unlocked, you're going to be able to challenge and get the higher tier foods for your card meal to eat. This is going to cost Battle Cafe energy. And it's really important that you understand this because there is a bit of a time gate. That way you can't just spam the Battle Cafe all day long and, hit level 100 within a week. So be wary of that. Be strategic in your placements when it comes to spending the Battle Cafe tickets or energy. I don't really recommend using them for food for efforts on your card me. I think that's kind of silly when there's so many other ways to raise your efforts for your card me. So do not spend your Battle Cafe tickets there or energy there. You can get Battle Cafe tickets from the Trainers Association as well as events and side quests. So make sure you're doing, especially events and especially events, like I said. That's going to be the best way to get it, as well as the Trainer Association. You can get them pretty reliably from there as well. But we'll dive into that here in just a minute. Like I said, only focus on leveling your card base. So it'll be the first tab, and then those four different types of food are going to be the kinds you want to worry about. You can use star gems to get extra energy, but you can only do that up to 5 times a day. So it's going to be able to allow you to get, I think it's 60 per 60 star gems that you spend. So it's going to be the equivalent of buying a high tier Battle Cafe ticket every time you spend star gems on that. Do that every day because you can get star gems very easily, very quickly through events and through just logging in daily. So the game is super generous when it comes to star gems. Abuse that generosity and spend them on your Battle Cafe. Definitely take advantage of Battle Cafe and spend as much time here as you possibly can. Additionally, moving on from there, let's talk about the farm because second to the Battle Cafe, the farm is going to be your favorite place in the game. You may, if you're going to speedrun, I don't normally recommend people spend money on the game. However, I do like to recommend that people spend money on the game if you want to support the devs, and this will really help you progress even faster. Understand you do not need to spend money on the game to play it or to level. But if you will buy the $5 monthly pass in the shop, it will allow you to unlock the feature of auto farming and auto mining. What you really want to pay attention to is the auto farming. And what this will do is every time you plant a crop, you don't have to worry about coming back to harvest it for another crop to be planted. You still do need to harvest them to be able to craft recipes, but they will just continue to plant until you run out of seeds. And so my strategy with the farm is this. Whether you buy the pass or not, buy the highest tier seeds you can, the most expensive seeds you can first. You're going to know they're the highest tier because they have the longest time before they sprout and produce vegetables or fruit. So what you're going to want to do is plant those first because those will level your farm the quickest. And then leveling your farm up will give you more plots of land even quicker, and that's going to help the process even faster. So, like I said, whether you buy the monthly card or you don't, buy those higher tier seeds first, plant them, and then harvest them. Um, the more high tier seeds and stuff and vegetables that you have, you're going to be able to craft some high tier foods. You're going to have to buy the recipes from Jerry, excuse me, and for that, it's going to take harvest tokens. You're going to get harvest tokens every time you harvest your crops. The more crops you're harvesting, the more tickets you're going to get. And this is why I think the auto planting is just such a slept on feature, because you can very, very quickly amass a near limitless amount of harvest tokens and vegetables that you're never gonna be able to spend all of them. So take advantage of that. Make sure you're spending your harvest tokens. Once you get a bundle of them, make sure you're getting plenty of water barrels or water buckets to double the yield of some of the dragon boards and the teeny berries, the things that don't typically yield a lot per harvest. And that way you can double that yield and level even quicker. Something that's really important, and since this is kind of a new player beginning guide, I want to throw it in there. When it comes to the farm, catch as many Kardmi as you can, because specifically grass and water type allow you to they significantly cut down on the time it takes to harvest a crop for the crops to grow, and then it'll also give a boost to how much plants are able to, like, how much the yield produces per seed. I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you and kind of quickly, but that's the point of a speed run, I'll say. If you have any questions about anything else mentioned specifically or will mention, you guys let me know down in the comments, and I will shed some extra clarification on that particular point. So that's it when it comes to the farm. Make sure you catch plenty of grass and water types, because you can assign them to your plots to help you grow plants and harvest them. You still will have to come back to the farm daily to collect your harvest, or if you can't make it back daily, make sure, like I said, that you have that auto farm feature enabled with the monthly card, and then you won't have to worry about coming back so often. You'll just know that as long as you have seeds, your farm will be growing and you'll be getting more materials or more leveling materials for your Kardmi. Because the great thing about farms is there's no cap on how much you can farm in a day. There's no cap on how much produce you can produce in a day. It really just depends on what you're planting. So, I mean, if you're planting all dragon gourd, then yeah, you can only produce a certain amount, and it's not going to be a great amount because they take 20 hours to grow. But if you're really strategic about what you plant, you can really maximize your yield, and you can get a lot of high-end leveling foods very quickly. So, I mentioned that you should be assigning more Kardmi to your farm, and let's go ahead and get into a great mechanic that will allow you to do that real quick. It's not a whole lot. Let's talk about the safari system that can be found right outside the gates of any town right before you go out in the wild and start trying to catch Kardmi. Once you catch enough of a particular Kardmi, you will raise the mastery level. Every time you catch a Kardmi, you raise the mastery, the research level of that Kardmi. Once you'll see like the bar below their name once you're catching them, what level you are. Once you get to gold status with that Kardmi, you will be able to take that Kardmi to the Safari zone by the gates of any city, like I said, right before you get to the wilds. And then you can entrust that to the Safari representative, and you can give them anywhere from 1 to 10 capture cards, and then they will go out and capture more copies of that card before you. And this is good because, like I said, number one, you want to assign these to your farm. That way they can help farm for you, and they can also be assigned to your mine. That's something different. We won't really talk about much of that just in this video. But once they're assigned to your farm, any excess you have, you can take to this other feature, which is the Trainer Association. The Trainer Association is introduced to you very quickly as well. And one thing that you really need to take advantage of daily with them is, to my knowledge, there's no cap on how many Kardmi you can turn in a day at each Trainer Association. So, like I said, the more you're catching, the more you're utilizing the Safari system. You can use, you can take those excess Kardmi, assuming that your farm is full and you don't need any more help there. Take it to the Trainer Association, turn those in for city credits. Those city credits can then be used to buy even more Battle Cafe tickets. Now, there is a weekly cap on Battle Cafe tickets. I think it's like 3 small packs and 5 large packs. It may be 5 small packs. I mean, 5 small packs as well. I don't have to look it up. I don't remember right off the top of my head. Point is, this is another really good way to get more Battle Cafe tickets that you may be keen to ignore. So definitely pay attention to that, and that's going to help you get even more Battle Cafe tickets, and it's going to help you level up even quicker. But guys, I think with these tips, you should be able to run through the content pretty quickly. It should really help you cut down on a lot of time spent and a lot of the side quests, especially as you get into the late game, they're well written, they're fun to do, but at this juncture in the game, you gotta kind of make a choice. Are you trying to speed run? And I assume if you're watching this video, you are trying to speed run. So I wouldn't really necessarily worry about a whole lot of side quests. Um, I just worry about like I said, getting your Kardmi level so that you can challenge the 3 arenas. You really don't even have to challenge the Elite Four. That's another thing. Unless you really want to, you don't have to challenge the Elite Four. There are great rewards for doing so, but that is personal preference. This video is just to help you get to Season 2, the new content, as quickly as possible, and I hope it's done that. I hope you guys learned something. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try my best to add some clarification to it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.